certainly some of us would want to address legal immigration in other ways, particularly the ways that are enticing more illegal immigration in the state, driver's licenses, healthcare, and so forth. I mean, I think it's an overall conversation that needs to happen. I think that it's been brought into the forefront. Trump's election, I think, in many ways was a referendum on a lot of issues, including illegal immigration. And I think in Connecticut, I think you'll find polling data would suggest that the vast majority of Connecticut residents have a problem with illegal immigration. And this issue is not just about illegal immigration. It is about the next step, which is, Connecticut Democrats have made it clear that they are willing to protect criminals. And we can list a number of bills that are very clear on that forefront. And they're also willing to protect undocumented aliens entering our state. But this issue is about them protecting undocumented aliens that also happen to be criminals. And I think that is a bridge too far for most people, and I think that's why we're standing here today, because it's about time we addressed it. Can I just very clearly, I think what Representative Candelora is trying to say is that very clearly our position is that our state should be having the same laws as the federal government and enforcing them in the same way so that we don't have that type of problem. You mentioned misdemeanors, which I think is very interesting. I mean, you guys are asking a lot of questions about the details and the interaction of state and feds. We're here for one singular purpose, which is to point out that this policy that was passed in 2019 and even in, I would say 2013, the original Trust Act, has led to crime in our state, and it has led to people being victimized that would never have been otherwise. That's what has happened, and we want to call attention to that. We want to point out that that happened on a partisan basis. Those were party line votes back in 2019 that made that happen. In addition, you mentioned misdemeanors. Just to illustrate the willingness of Connecticut Democrats to protect criminals. In 2021, in another bill where they were erasing criminal records, they included a provision in there to reduce the penalty for a Class A misdemeanor, a one-year misdemeanor, to change it from 365 days, which is 1 year, to 364 days. And you scratch your head and you ask yourself, why would anybody do that? Until you realize that there's one singular purpose, and that is the threshold by which the federal government determines that that's a detainable offense for an illegal alien is 1 year. So they were purposely writing policy to protect people that committed one-year misdemeanors. What kind of policy is that? And the question about whether or not this is popular in Connecticut, I defy you to grab anybody on the street, regardless of party affiliation, ask them if we should be protecting criminal aliens, even people that commit Class A misdemeanors, let alone felonies.